And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Thank you for joining us today for the Alaska Weather Show. I'm meteorologist Emily Niebuhr. It's October 14th, 2023. You can reach us at 1-855-937-4977. You can find us online at weather.gov/Alaska, or you can email our media expert, peter.chan@noaa.gov. We have several advisories out today that continue into tomorrow. We'll be looking at the system in a moment. It's weak, but it still has enough moisture for there to be some snow and even some freezing rain. So let's start up in the north for the Kaktovik region. Up in the far northeast coast, we are having a winter weather advisory that continues until 1 p.m. Sunday. We're expecting snow and also a mixture of freezing rain at times. We also, across much of the interior, have advisories for winter weather advisories as well. So we're expecting freezing rain to mix in at lower elevations. At higher elevations, maybe a few more inches of snow and maybe not as much freezing rain expected. But definitely if you're going to be traveling anywhere across the interior through Sunday, make sure you're up to date. You can find us again, weather.gov/Alaska for the latest information where you'll be traveling. So finally, along the Alaska range, we are expecting some gusty winds. And we have an advisory for winds up to 60 miles per hour, especially in channeled terrain. That again goes through Sunday at 1 p.m. So travel with caution across the interior and across the Alaska range through Sunday. Here's the latest information that we have from our Anchorage Forecast Office forecasters on the remnants of Typhoon Bolaven. Again, we'll be looking at it on satellite in a moment. It's a fairly intense storm. It is expected to skirt across south of the Aleutian Islands and eventually move into the Gulf of Alaska and weaken. So here's the latest information. This is a typical fall system. We're not expecting anything out of the ordinary for this. And the low, like I just said, it's going to weaken as it approaches the Gulf. And what we don't know is exactly how quickly the low weakens as it goes into the Gulf of Alaska. So again, you can monitor it on weather.gov/AFC for the latest updates on this system. Also, our Anchorage Forecast Office wanted to let you know there is a freezing rain potential for their area. This is going to be Sunday night into Monday morning. So again, it's a little too early for advisories for this. So just stay up to date, see if your area might get an advisory. Again, precipitation will occur Sunday night into Monday. Temperatures will start out cold enough for snow, but there's going to be some warm air mixing in. So again, plan ahead for adverse weather and expect updates. And again, follow us online for the latest information. And again, this is a concern for Sunday into Monday. Let's look at the latest satellite. The most exciting feature we have right now is remnants of Typhoon Bolaven. Again, skirting south of the western and central Aleutian Islands, but still spreading some clouds northward, some moisture and some gusty winds. As we go further east, we have a weakening system near the Panhandle, so bringing some showers, spotty showers, and then we also have system from the Arctic coast bringing in some moisture and some of that concern for those advisories. So looking on our map, again, we see Bolaven's at 943 today. Millbar is pretty intense. We have a weakening low just south of Kodiak or at about 992 with sort of an associated trough that's bringing some of the showers and instability that we've seen across the interior today. And again, some of that moisture is making it into the interior, and we finally have that low sitting in the North Arctic coast that's been fairly stubborn the last few days. Tonight it is going to remain fairly stubborn. So again, why we have some of those advisories out, we're expecting just persistent light snow across the interior due to some of the moisture and that forcing. Meanwhile, that low near Kodiak continues to drift to the southeast, but trough and frontal features are still going to be impacting the North Gulf Coast and across much of the Gulf of Alaska. Meanwhile, Bolaven slowly continues to skirt to the south of the central Aleutian Islands and weaken as we were just kind of discussing. By Sunday, it continues to slowly weaken. High pressure begins to nudge in from the west into the Bering. We have high pressure pushing in from the Yukon, and that low pressure system south of Kodiak remains fairly stagnant with its frontal system and trough still impacting along the Gulf Coast. So go into Monday, Bolaven continues to skirt to the east. High pressure continues to build in from the west, and high pressure continues to build in from the Yukon in towards eastern Alaska. Let's look at your temperatures for Sunday. Sunday morning, we're looking at temperatures will be at the lows, will be upper 40s to 50s along the Panhandle area. Meanwhile, as we look towards Anchorage, Kenai Peninsula, just above freezing, we're looking at mid-30s with a 30 in Gulcanas and 40 at Kodiak Island. Temperatures are going to warm into the mid to upper 40s for your Sunday afternoon across much of the Kenai Peninsula, and for Anchorage, 49 at Kodiak. We're going to be warming into the mid-50s for the Panhandle region. For Monday morning, again, we're looking at lows in the mid-40s, so we're cooling off a little bit in the Panhandle. Also, we're starting to see 25 for the interior. Meanwhile, for Anchorage, 36, Kenai, 35, so still maintaining some of that warmth. For Kodiak Island, 42 for your low. Monday afternoon, we're going to be warming 51 for Kodiak, mid-40s across Anchorage, all the way up to Talkeetna, 41 at Gulcana. Looking at mid-50s for the Panhandle. For your Sunday morning, along the North Arctic coast, looking at lower 20s to mid to upper 20s. Fairbanks, 28 with some of that cloud cover and snowfall expected. Seward Peninsula, we're looking at mid to upper 20s. Sunday afternoon, the Seward Peninsula will warm to about the mid-30s. Near Fairbanks, looking at 39. Along the North Arctic coast, the lower 30s. For your Monday morning lows, again, temperatures ranging about the mid to upper 20s for the Seward Peninsula. Along much of the Arctic coast, again, low to mid 20s, 23 in Fairbanks, so a little bit of cooling there. Monday afternoon, highs of about 40 for Fairbanks, low to mid 30s across the Seward Peninsula, and upper 20s to lower 30s along the North Arctic coast. For your Sunday morning in the Bristol Bay area, again with the eastern Aleutian Islands and Alaska Peninsula, we're looking at temperatures in about the mid to upper 30s. Bristol Bay, we're looking at temperatures around the upper 20s. Bethel, 25. Sunday afternoon, we're going to warm up to 35 in Bethel and maintain fairly similar temperatures in the eastern Aleutian Islands and along the Alaska Peninsula of upper 40s, or mid to upper 40s, I should say. By Monday morning, again, Bethel, we're looking at 29. Across the Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula, we're looking at temperatures in mid-30s to upper 40s. And by Monday afternoon, we'll again be in the mid to upper 40s along much of the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutian Islands, warming to 37 in Bethel, so a little warmer in the interior. For your CPC 6 to 10 day outlook, that's the Climate Prediction Center from our experts. We are expecting temperatures across much of the state to be below normal. So expect cooler temperatures across much of the interior, maybe closer to average near the Panhandle. In terms of precipitation, we're expecting below average precipitation across much of the south central and into the Alaska Peninsula, near average for the Panhandle, and above average as we go up north towards Utqiagvik.